Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How's it going today? Hope you're having a good day. And look, I'll be honest with you. Usually these videos are what we call goodwill marketing. I help you out with something. I give you a tip, some kind of advice, or on our closing beat show at 5 o'clock, I go over the stock markets and you kind of get an insight as to what's going on. I simply do it so that maybe you'll keep us in mind. It's marketing, really. At the end of the day, that's what we're doing here. So if you haven't figured it out already, that's what we do on a daily basis. Today is not that video. I want to just simply help. So I'm putting all that aside for the moment, and I want to just talk to my teachers out there for a moment. I want to talk about the 403b. The 403b is officially the worst investment vehicle you can have. It doesn't matter which financial guru you follow, they all agree. Everybody's the same way. I follow a lot of them. Bruce Williams was actually my sort of financial idol back in the day. And I would say nowadays, you know, the Dave Ramsey, Clark Howard, actually I like Clark Howard a lot. He is a much nicer Bruce Williams. And even he would agree that 403b's are the worst. And so what I want to do today is sort of explain that, but then help you out, because if you have a 403b and that's your only choice, I need you to do a little homework. Now, 403b's typically offered to teachers, right? So you got a little homework, right? We're turning the tables on you a little bit today. They are similar to the 401k, but if you're a teacher, that's the product, that's the offering that you have by your school district or what have you. So I'm officially, I'm not saying this to pick on anybody. You know, I don't do videos that bash people. I just don't believe in that. Try to keep it nice and lighthearted here. So while I'm going to pick on them a little bit, I want to make sure you have the tips and advice that you can use to go forward. Now, here's how this works. In a 401k, if that's what you had, your employer has a fiduciary responsibility, along with the plan provider, to sort of vet the products that are in there, to hand pick them. They're usually guided by the 401k plan provider, and the goal there is to make sure you have enough options to choose what's best for you. So in a 401k, you may find some index funds in there. You might find some target date funds, right? There's usually those are very popular in there. And you may find what we call active funds. Okay? These are going to cost you a little bit more, but in many cases, when I dig through these with clients, we find that there's actually some good choices there that can help you. Now, in a 401k, your index funds are going to be typically your least expensive. Okay? You have the option of choosing a low-cost investment vehicle, which in many cases is a good choice. Your target date fund typically costs just a touch more. They're usually not very expensive, and you have, of course, the choice to use it or not if you want to. Then you have the active funds, which would be normally the highest cost funds inside of your 401k. And that's okay, right? You now know that your employer has screened those investments and found that these are giving you the widest choices. Typically about 30 choices in there, including all the different ranges for target date funds. Now, in a 403b, this fiduciary requirement does not exist. There is no requirement for them to pick any funds that are in your best interests, really, and it's kind of unfortunate, right? So, like I said, in the 401k, you've got your choices. In the 403b, you very likely find that you have a ton of choices inside that vehicle. Now, seriously, I've looked at hundreds of these for customers. All of our customers, I'll look at any accounts they want to make sure that they have the help. And a lot of times when we look at a 401k, we do find that if you have a mix of different funds in there, you can actually get better performance than just simply picking the target date funds that are in there. But as I look at more 403b's, I now realize why a lot of these financial gurus really sort of bash the 403b. That's the bad news. Inside of this, you typically have annuities. I'll just go with that. The annuities in there cost you upwards of 2% and have incredible, they call them surrender fees, right? So let's say you pick one of the annuities, you change your mind down the road, it's going to cost you a lot of money to change that, right? So typically those are in there. You also have front-loaded mutual funds that cost you, starting at 5.75%. When you put $1 in, 5.75% of it goes to the mutual fund. I just did a video on this, by the way, to talk about the front-loaded mutual funds. There's really no good reason to pick them. They used to be some good ones that you could choose from. However, these mutual funds, they tend to have expense ratios pushing 2%. You can't make any money and can't grow your nest egg if you're paying let's say just say 7%, right? Let's just go with 7%, give them the benefit of the doubt. You just can't make any money, right? The S&P over its lifetime, raw numbers, has averaged 10% a year. You can't grow your money if you're only growing at 3%, okay? Now these annuities, you notice how I don't do videos on annuities because I like to keep things nice. I like to have nice things to say, and I don't have any nice things to say about annuities. In super duper layman's terms, a variable annuity is the equivalent of you going to like Morningstar.com and sorting by the most expensive mutual fund you can find, then choosing it, right? Paying the top dollar for the most expensive mutual fund. And then after you buy that and pay all that money, you then go out and buy insurance to guarantee that the value of your account won't be lower than where you started. It's ridiculous. There's no need for that. So that's like in a real small nutshell, that is what a variable annuity is. Now, here's the good news. In a 401k, you typically have, like I said, about 30 choices somewhere in there. In a 403b, you could literally have hundreds of choices. You know why that is? You know why they do that? Because these are what they hope you pick, right? All those people, sort of the greedy side of Wall Street, they hope you pick that and you don't do your research, you just pick something and move on. There are low-cost funds in there, but you have to dig. You got to go look for them. Teachers, you got to do your homework, right? So the bad news is, yeah, these are not very good accounts, okay? And I just wanted to kind of make that as a warning. The good news is there are usually funds in there that you can choose from, and I encourage you to do your homework to make sure you're not paying sort of top dollar when you don't have to, right? They do not have to follow the same rules and guidelines as a 401k, and so that's really it. That's what I wanted to give to you today. All marketing aside, 403b's can be an extremely costly vehicle. In many cases, you'd be better off just saving in a high-interest savings account, but you can't, right? You need growth. You need your money to grow for retirement. Well, that's it. If you have a 403b, teachers, you got homework. I just wanted to put that out there for you today. I'll do one little bit of marketing, and that'll be to just check out our Closing Beat show. It's at 5 o'clock every single day where we cover the stock markets. Aside from that, I hope this helps you in some way. If it does help you, maybe you'll hit the subscribe button. That's all I'll ask of you today. Second thing I'll ask of you today. And enjoy. So do your homework. Let me know how it goes.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.